Shalawab, shalawab, all praises of our glory unto Yahweh, Barashab, Yahweh, Barashab, Rachak, Wadash. Double orders to the elders and the apostles of great boost to the world. Push this 100% truth of the gospel, waking up and sealing the elect of the nation of Israel. As salutation to see accurate and push this gospel in righteousness and sincerity, risking your lives and your freedom to do so. This is your brother Abawad coming back, bringing out another lesson again. And what we're going to go into, this beautiful video that was done by the brother Yashaya from IS Nation. Right, I was just looking at my comments, at my feed, trying to get some more edification, and I saw this video, and through the spirit, I clicked on it and I watched it, and I was edified. This was a beautiful video going into the division among Esau's kingdom, especially during this election, because that division is becoming more clearer than ever. And he spoke of the destruction that Yahushua will wreak on this kingdom, and he spoke on the destruction that is the destruction that will already be here when Yahushua comes, because you know that precept that talks about it that says when Yahushua said that he's coming to kindle the fire, and what would it be if the fire is already kindled? You're roughly paraphrasing. I butchered it there, but I just want to get this point across. So something just jumped out to me. So I quickly looked up the word destruction, in the old etymology. And we already know that the word destruction is a coupled word, because the Apostle Gabai has brought it up before. And the word means to destructure. That word de actually means, to basically to undo something, so basically to remove something. That's basically what that word means. And the word structure goes back to the Hebrew, not the Hebrew, it goes back to the Latin words, I don't know how to pronounce that word, stere, which means to spread. So the Most High is going to remove their the Most High is going to remove their Esau's structure, and clearly this word means to unstructure or to remove structure. So the Most High is going to bring complete destruction to Esau. And that doesn't just mean that doesn't just mean that, if you think about it, doesn't just mean that, boom, pow, bam, this devil's at the bottom, he is done. It's a process of whittling down this devil, breaking down the structures. And once again, the word structure, going back to the Latin word stere or stuere, meaning to spread. You're going to completely, you're going to take away his structure. That means his spread. And that reminds me of the precept that is in the book of, I'll go to the blue letter right now, Isaiah, the 14th verse, the 21st chapter, Isaiah 14th verse. It talks about how, it is, Isaiah the 14th verse, the 21st chapter. Prepare slaughter for his children, for the iniquity of their fathers, that they do not rise, nor possess the land, nor fill the face of the world with cities. Where, because, and we always go into this, the scriptures talk about how Esau will be completely wiped out from the face of the earth. Going into Obadiah chapter 1 verse 18, it talks about the Esau being let me just go to that so I can remember how it goes. Obadiah chapter 1 verse 18. That's one of the pieces that goes into Esau's destruction, because we always go into that. So this is the book of Obadiah chapter 1 verse 18. And the house of Jacob shall be a fire, and the house of Joseph a flame, and the house of Esau for stubble, and they shall kindle in them and devour them, and there shall not be any remaining of the house of Esau, for Yahweh hath spoken it. This is clearly telling you that Esau will be wiped out from the face of the earth, And now we see the times of when Esau's kingdom is being destroyed, because this was the way, this was the same way in which Yahweh destroyed our people. So in all our other captivities, we had some form of structure, meaning that we knew who we were. We knew why we were in captivity. Our women and our children were still in order. We could still have some semblance of stability, in our households, in our communities. But in this final captivity, we have none of that. Our people are completely destroyed. Our people are completely mad, leading us into Hosea 4 verse 6. And we already know what is written there, that our people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge, and because they have rejected Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, he has also rejected us, and he has made sure that we would be no priests to him. Because of the knowledge of who we were was taken away from us. And let me just sideline a little bit, let me just go into something else just really quickly before I go back to the topic. We're not black, okay? We're not Hispanic. We're not Native Americans. We're not Chinese. We're not Africans. Whatever name you want to call yourselves, those are bywords, proverbs. Going to the precepts in the book of Deuteronomy 28, the courses about that, how it will be. I believe that's in the 27th chapter. So let me just make sure that I'm correct. That no, it's not there. So basically, how you must have turned us into a byword and a proverb. Let me just type that in the search bar. So since I can't remember what it is. Okay, 37. And I was off by a number. Okay, so I'm going to go into the blue letter for the words byword and proverb, so I can get the definition of them. Alright, so I can get more understanding on what exactly I mean when I say that a byword or a proverb. Because what I mean is that those words are like we are supposed to take them as insults. When they call us black, when they call us Native Americans, when they call us Latinos, when they call us Africans, because by the different names of the nations that we are scattered in. I don't take being called Nigerian with pride, okay? Because I'm an Israelite, I'm a son of Jacob. That's how I feel. And if anybody I know, and if you can't, if you don't see me as an Israelite, I think that's offensive to me. Alright, so going into the word proverb, first of all, it means marshal, and the definition that we're looking for is the B, which is basically a byword. So now we'll go into the definition of now we'll go to the blue letter for byword. Once again, Deuteronomy 28 verse 37, and I think I'll read it as well before let me just go into this word, the word byword. That is Shanayana. Shanayana, and it goes. Let me see whether I can get an audio cue. Yeah, so lucky I'm not working. Yeah.
Strong's okay. H 8147. Shenayim.
So lucky I have a little bit of a running nose. But anyway, the word is Shanayana. Okay, Shanayana. And the definitions are. Wait, I think I skipped. I think I jumped to something else. Okay, here it is. Shanayana. And the definitions are sharp word, sharp cutting word, a taunt or a gibe, a byword or a taunt. So basically, these things are, when people to call up, maybe refer to us in this manner, they are taunting us, they are mocking us, making fun of us as a people because we are not of these names. We don't have these names. We are Israelites, and the fact that our people don't know who they are shows how destroyed we are. So we have gone to all these other cultures and all these other gods and served them and left Yahweh Shimi Yahweh, who is our power. We have gone to all these other cultures to find some identity, to find some form of identity. That's why you have so much. That's why you have so much of this so-called black identity movement. Because the Southern Kingdom. Because the Southern Kingdom Israelites, the Negroes of our people, the Negroes are people. They have all these black identity groups, because they're trying to find out who they are as a people. But when you tell them that they are Israelites and they want to, they say that no, they want to be Africans, they want to be Islam, they want to be all these other nations except for Israel. Going into the book of Jeremiah chapter 2. And I'll start from the first verse. Sucker. Sucker. I think I got the wrong precepts. Let me type it down. Okay, that's funny. It's a Jeremiah chapter 2. Okay. Jeremiah chapter 2 verse 11. And it reads, Jeremiah chapter 2 verse 11, and it reads, "Has a nation changed their gods, which are yet no gods? My people have changed their glory into that which does not profit." And in that same precept, it goes into how we left Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, and in fact that's the 13th verse. Let me just read it. "For my people have committed two evils. They have forsaken me, the fountain of living waters, and hewed them out cisterns, broken cisterns that can hold no water." So this is what our people have done. They have gone into these idols that couldn't save a goddamn Word document, But anyway, coming back to the topic at hand, how Esau is going through it, our curses, falling upon him. He's receiving the hell and the destruction we received. And the funny thing is that he does not have a power, he does not have a Al Bashim Yawashan on his side, does not have anybody that will show him mercy, or that will have mercy on him, or that will bring him out of it. And the first part of Esau's destruction, and I'll go to that, the book of Habakkuk chapter 2, where it talks about how there is shameful spewing on Esau's glory. So let me see where it is at. Alright, here it is. Habakkuk chapter 2 verse 16. Thou art filled with shame for glory. Drink thou also, and let thy foreskin be uncovered. The cup of Yahweh's right hand shall be turned unto thee, and shameful spewing shall be on thy glory. Is shame Yahweh, and the first in the way of Esau's destruction is shame. Yahweh Bashim Yahweh is shaming these devils by simply exposing them, and to add more shame to it, using his own people to do so. Going into Psalm 64 verse 18, saying their tongue shall fall upon them, so shall their tongue fall upon them, and all that see them, shall flee away from them, because he is being exposed as a liar, a fake, and a thief. You had a time where everybody on this planet believed everything was red, and you know why? You know why I said red, because these people, they are not white, they are red. The Yahweh Bashim Yahweh, the Most High, was red. His sun was red. The first men to walk upon the earth were red. All civilizations, cities, and anything that was great was built by red people, by so-called Edomites. Going to find out, and you don't even need to do that much research anymore to to find out this information. It is out there that the true first people, the true original people were not Hamites but Israelites, who also happen to be a dark-fleshed people, and that these devils aren't white, a false label they placed upon themselves, but in all actuality are red, and are a leprous, diseased people, and are the basest of men, and are the wicked, and are devils. And don't just take my word on it. Look it up. It's all over the scriptures. It's the real truth is starting to come out, and he is caught red-handed. He has been made, ashamed for all his lies, which is why you currently have all these Edomites trying to call on themselves atone for the sins of their fathers. As the scripture says, that is in the book of Job 20. Their children shall seek to please the poor, right? And then their heinous crimes against humanity, especially against the upper echelon of humanity, and you already know who that is. During all our captivities, because if you think that these Edomites crimes, or that their biggest crime were done in slavery, you need to study up, because these people, not only have they done, as written up in the book of Job 9 verse 24, where it says that they covered the faces of the judges, but they also destroyed our temple twice, during the Babylonian captivity. And I think the reference for that is in the book of Esdras, and also during our when we built the second temple again during 70 AD in the Roman captivity, and that history is recorded in Esau's books. Right, so the next is him being brought low, losing their power over the nations, their sway. The times when they spoke and everybody listened and they scrambled not to get on Esau's bad side. And that thing is over now, because now the nations are rising up against this devil. Seen clearly with Iran, because the brother that video, he said that how Iran were preparing ballistic missiles because they were thinking about they're talking about they are ready to go to war with America. They're ready to fight against Esau. Not just Iran, also Russia as well, showing you that's Egyptian versus Egyptian, because the Russians are Edomites as well. Let me go to look of Isaiah chapter 14, and I feel like I'm going to get a lot of precepts from here today. Right, Isaiah 14 verse 9. Hell from beneath is moved to meet thee at thy coming. It stirreth up the dead for thee, even all the chief ones of the earth. It hath raised up from their thrones all the kings of the nations. If you think you can be brought down to hell, Yahweh Bashim Yahweh will do better. He will bring hell to you. That is how far these devils will fall, straight into hell. The hell that they created for the other nations, and the pits that they dug for our people. Alright, so I continue from verse 10. All they shall speak and say unto thee, art thou also become weak as we? Art thou become like unto us? Thy pomp is brought down to the grave, and the noise of thy vials. The worm is spread under thee, and the worms cover thee. So you can clearly see how far Esau is going to fall, straight down into hell. And going to the book of Job 20. And I'll start from verse 5, and it reads that the triumphing of Job 20 verse 5, that the triumphing of the wicked is short, and the joy of the hypocrite but for a moment. Though his excellency mount up to the heavens, and his head reach unto the clouds, yet he shall perish forever like his own dung. They which have seen him shall say, where is he? And this is also going into Esau being completely wiped out from the face of the earth, because the times are coming when you are going to look for an Edomite, but you're not going to see them because they don't exist anymore. They are going to fall to the level of a dung, which is basically you take let me get a little graphic here, but you take a sheet and you bury that thing up fast. You flush it down the toilet. When I talk about this, I'm thinking about during the time of when the book of Job was written. They had latrines basically. They dig a hole in they dig a hole in the ground, and they basically they handle their business inside that hole. So that's basically what is going to happen. That's basically what is going to happen to Esau. It's going to be buried deep in the ground. That's why they talk about that he will be like his own dung, where in which the dung will be buried deep in the ground, because those latrine holes, they are deep. It's not something that somebody can just. It's not something that somebody can fall inside and come out unscathed. And it is what it is. These devils have grown weaker. The nations are looking at them like, you have been brought down to our level, just like they did us. It's all part of their destruction. And lastly, you have the chariots and the missiles, the cutting call of this kingdom. And I don't need to go into this one, but I will still do it, because the way I see it, any excuse to get a precept. So I just quickly get the book of Isaiah chapter 13. The whole chapter is good. Also the book of Joel too. I won't go to that. So let me just read Isaiah chapter 13 from verse 1. The burden of Babylon, which Isaiah the son of Amos did see. Lift ye up a banner upon the high mountain, exalt the voice unto them, shake the hand, that they may go into the gates of the noble. Yes. I have commanded my sanctified ones, I have also called my mighty ones, for my anger, even them that rejoice in my highness. The noise of a multitude in the mountains, like as a great people, a tumultuous noise of the kingdoms of nations gathered together. The Yahweh of hosts mustered the host of the battle. They come from a far country, from the end of heaven, even Yahweh, and the weapons of his indignation to destroy the whole land. How ye, for the day of Yahweh is at hand, it shall come as a destruction from the Almighty. And this is speaking of the nuclear missiles, the chariots that will be shot from all over the earth straight to Babylon the Great. And you also get another one that is in the book of Revelation. It talks about the merchants of the earth mourning for the great city, because how does it go? The wrath of Yahweh's anger had poured upon her. The cup of the Most High's wrath, I believe. So let me just quickly try and get that. The merchants cry for her. I think that's either in Revelation 16 or 18. So let me just go there. Let's start from Revelation 16. Alright, system try Revelation 18. Okay, here it is. Revelation 18 verse 9. And the kings of the earth who have committed fornication and lived deliciously with her shall bewail her and lament for her when they shall see the smoke of her burning, standing afar off for the fear of her torments, saying, Alas, alas, the great city of Babylon, that mighty city, for in 1 hour is thy judgment come. And the merchants of the earth shall weep and mourn over her, for no man buyeth their merchandise any more. Right, going into how all these nations will mourn and be terrified when they see the destruction of Babylon, and when they realize that everything that happened, from from the prelude of the from the beginning of the fall of Babylon up to that point, it was all done by Yahweh Ba'asham Yawashai. When they realize that, I wouldn't be surprised if some people even die of the shock of realizing just how powerful and just how terrible the Most High is. Okay, so I'm going to end it there. And I'd like to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Bahasham, Rachak, Kodash, Wa Abad, Babal. And through the Spirit, I hope you brothers and sisters are edified. Shalom.